What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a look at the brand new Legend Queen coming for the 9th anniversary One Piece Treasure Cruise. And yeah, this is a really interesting unit, of course, as this unit doesn't have super type or super class, but actually has a captain action, so this was completely left field from Bandai. We weren't really expecting to see that at all. But yeah, we've got a couple of clips here. We've got to have some clips versus some of the arenas. And we also have built a team to take on Goldie Roger level 150 in Pirate King Adventures. So definitely stay tuned for that. But let's just briefly start talking about this unit. So his captain ability is kind of interesting. It's pretty bare bones. It's not a lot going on. So I don't really see him being used that much as a captain. It's more of a meme. I do feel like he's going to see a lot of usage as a crewmate though. But his captain ability, you know, giving him cooldown, giving an HP boost to Driven and Cerebral, 1.65. So a lot of HP. And a 5 times attack boost, but if they have a recovery, a tandem, or a Wano slot, they actually get a 5.75 times attack boost instead, which is just absurd. So it's a lot of attack boost, and the HP boost does make a lot of sense with this character because of his captain action that allows you to vanish, which allows you to bypass despair mechanics. So it means that in a lot of situations where you would normally get your HP reduced from a despair, you can just avoid it anyway. So I kind of like that. It means that this character will have a lot of HP. So if we ever get more characters in the future that are focused around the Rush Sugo special mechanic that can synergize with this queen, then that's going to be really cool. And I actually do have a bit of a headcanon that I do think that the new Legend King that we are predicting is going to be arriving soon is probably going to be a super type unit with Rush Sugo special that would synergize already well with this Queen versus Kaido, and obviously Super Tandem Jack, which came out right before the anniversary. As you know, this whole Beast Pirates Int driven team that is supposedly building up here, the only thing they're really missing is a super type unit. They've got Final Tap with versus Kaido. They've got Super Tandem with both Queen and Jack. They don't have Rush Sugo special yet, so it would be cool if we got that to synergize really well with these high HP teams and really high damaging teams that this, you know, new int-driven Beast Pirates team can really abuse. Moving on now to the next clip, we are going to be using Queen as a crewmate here, just because we really needed to abuse the effect of versus Kaido, and of course, Queen has great synergy with versus Kaido, and the main component of that is because of the special ability of this character that allows this unit to get a different effect if you already have an attack, an orb boost, and a color affinity boost activated when you launch Queen's special. So if you already have one of each of those effects of color affinity, attack, and orb boosts, then he gives you a 2.5 times conditional boost against characters that have increased damage taken inflicted on them, and a 30% resistance down to all enemies for Driven and Cerebral for 1 turn. So really good effect here, and great synergy of course, because the actual special of Queen, when you launch it, will give you a color affinity boost, and it cannot be removed by the enemy or by your own team. So with versus Kaido, which removes your beneficial effects and then gives you the Wano tandem slots, gives the massive attack and orb boost, of course that's fantastic because then your color affinity from Queen will not be removed, and versus Kaido will essentially fully charge all of your character specials again, allowing you to launch Queen once again, and you will have all of the buffs activated. Alternatively, you can have Kaido special with a support that generates color affinity boost, so you don't even have to use Queen special beforehand, which will allow you to then use Queen special to give you the conditional boost. And of course, Kaido's versus effect will allow you to inflict increased damage taken to the enemy in order to actually proc the conditional boost that Queen is able to give you. So perfect synergy across the board here. And even if you look at like the Jack that came out before the 9th anniversary, he also has the ability to inflict increased damage taken. So even if you just wanted to synergize Queen and Jack together, even without versus Kaido, you can definitely still build teams around that, which is actually really cool. Alright, so now we get into the Pirate King Adventures level 150. Now, I must say, this is not an ideal team to clear this content at all, as it doesn't really have units that are boosted in the event, like to give you additional drops or anything. This is more of just a proof of concept that the team was able to get the job done. Now, I did actually encounter Usopp in the middle of this quest to reduce the enemy's HP by 40%, but realistically, I kind of wish I didn't do that, because the amount of damage that we're able to do on the last stage, we actually weren't even able to get the final tap of Kaido, and I really would have loved to have seen how much damage we're able to do, and I think we probably would have been able to kill Roger. It would have been really close. It was definitely over 1 billion HP that we would have been able to do. This is not a very ideal team, as we do need to take quite a lot of time to actually get through this Shanks and Buggy stage, but while we're doing that, we can actually just talk about this some other subsidiary effects of this character, such as the super tandem of Queen. So Queen does have that super tandem, and at level 5, it's actually kind of interesting, where you do need, one of, you need 2 characters, but you can have one of the Toby Ropo, you can have one of the headliners, or you can have King Jack, and then obviously Kaido himself. But if you're using versus Kaido, you probably want Kaido to be the final tap character, but it is dependent on the team comp at the time. But the effect itself is interesting, where at level 5 you're getting a 2.25 times attack boost to Driven, which is obviously very good. But then he also reduces damage threshold by 3 turns. So that's a very good mechanic that you can just get additional pieces of utility just by activating that super tandem. So I do like that. It's not the best super tandem in the game, but it's still a nice effect that synergizes with the team, obviously, which is really, really cool. And once again, if that whole headcanon actually does occur, where King is a Rush Sugo special character that eventually comes out and synergizes with this team, then you can have Rush Sugo special with King, and then immediately go over to Queen to trigger the super tandem, and then you're Queen, and then you can even go with Jack or someone else, right? You can trigger the super tandem off of that, which would be incredible, and then obviously have Kaido for the final tap, which would be absolutely wicked. And you do see here we're activating the captain action of Queen to avoid the despair that will inevitably occur on battle 5 of this Roger quest. And this is where we get to really abuse the effect of Kaido being able to, fully charge specials, but also being able to remove beneficial effects of characters that we don't really want, because we do have to use the Robin special in order to get the effect of removing the Rainbow Shield and removing the chain down effects and stuff. And Robin is just like the only character that really fit this position, because we also needed to remove the paralysis. And it's really hard to get around all these mechanics if we wanted to use double Queen as the captain. So luckily we were able to get the job done, which is cool. But Kaido being able to remove the beneficial effects, get his beneficial effects, we have the color affinity of Queen, and then of course after the fact we're able to use the Kaido special. We can then fully charge Queen, use double Queen again to inflict the minus 60% resistance down to the opponent. So our characters that are driven or cerebral are going to do a lot more damage than they were going to do previously, just stacking all of these damaging effects on top of each other. And even with that type advantage, this team just does absolute bits in terms of damage. Now, throughout this video, we've really talked about how this character can synergize with versus Kaido and the whole int-driven team, but another thing that we haven't even talked about is the fact that Queen is also a cerebral character, so you can just run a mono-cerebral-ish team and utilize characters such as Legend Uta. And Uta's going to be a really good character here, because Uta does have the capabilities of providing an attack and an orb boosting effect, and then of course Queen can give you color affinity, so good synergy there. Alternatively, you can have, Uta and then another color affinity boost, and then you can use Queen's special to give you the conditional boost versus increased damage taken and the resistance down on the opponent's side of the field. So there's really cool things that you can do with Queen. And also one minor thing that we need to touch up on before we wrap up the video is that Queen actually has a fantastic support effect as well, attaching to Jack, King, and Kaido, and it just says whenever they launch their special, remove 2 turns of defense up. Very simple special, but a very useful special that will definitely see play moving forward into the future. So overall, just my opinions on using this character thus far, I actually really like the kind of meminess that you can get with him as a captain. However, personally, I do think I'm going to be using this character a lot more as a crewmate. He even does have a crewmate ability that reduces his cooldown by 2 turns every time another character launches a special on the crew. It's actually the same crewmate ability that version 1 Rayleigh has, which is a really good crewmate ability. So even though this character may have a really high cooldown, you can abuse other specials to make it, a little bit less, less of a worry to have to stall for their cooldowns. But Queen is going to be a fantastic character moving forward, and I'm really, really excited to see. Hopefully we get a Legend King release that can synergize further with this entire batch. But that is going to wrap it up from me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Legend Queen down below in the comment section. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.